what is the end of Pokemon Go gonna look like? Pokemon Go is one of those games that don't really end, so there's no real limit to the game. It can go on forever, technically. But here are some ways that the game could eventually end or just become so boring that it's basically unplayable. Now, the first thing we should probably talk about is the Pokedex. Since Pokemon Go is a game that hasn't released the full Pokedex yet, we are expecting Pokemon in the future. There are tons of Pokemon that haven't been released yet, like most of the Galar region and basically all the Paldea region. We're looking forward to those in the future. But eventually the cycle is going to start to slow and Pokemon are going to take longer to release. Now, here's my theory. Every year in February, a tour happens. A tour for that generation. Now, every main series Pokemon game takes around 3 to 4 years to make, which means by 2025, which is next year, we're going to have the Unova Tour done, and Gen 10 will probably release sometime in the end of 2025, making the next generation, Generation 11, which will probably come in 2029, which means by 2029, the full Paldea Dex will have to be in the game and shiny. Well, I mean, the Sinnoh Tour kind of broke that, but you get the gist of it. The next generation, Generation 12, we're looking long in the future, but probably around 2032, which by that point, Generation 10 and Generation 11 have to already be fully in the game, which it limits the amount of Pokemon that can come in a certain time. It's very confusing, and I'm probably getting off track by this point, but you just gotta understand that eventually the cycle will slow, and there will be no Pokemon to bring to the game. Now, another thing we can talk about is levels. Pokemon Go has been at level 40 for a long time, but in the end of 2020, I believe it was, we got level 50. 10 more levels with a lot more XP, and you had to do certain tasks to level up, which were extremely difficult, bringing the max XP you needed to get to the max level from 20 million XP to 176 million XP. The amount of level 50 players in the world is so low to the other point. Like, I just want to say there's probably, here, let's put it this way. Probably about 3 to 4% of the accounts made today are level 40, or maybe even level 30. There's so many accounts in the game, and for you to have a level 50 account, I congratulate you. For you to even be level 35, you're still one of the lucky people who've continued to play. Now, along with that, since we already have such a small percent of people who are level 50, let's take up to the main series games, where the max level Pokemon can get to is level 100. There have been speculation for a while that level 60 is coming to the game, but it's kind of like a thing where if every 6 years we get another 10 levels, we only have 50 more levels that can come to the game. I know that seems like a lot, that's only half the amount we have, or that's double the amount we have right now, but like with the Pokedex, it's gonna run out. Everything in this world runs out eventually, but there's some games, like, I mean, it isn't Pokemon related, but Minecraft, for instance. Even if it doesn't get updates, it'll stay the same forever, but that's not a thing you can say about Pokemon Go. Sure, you can catch Pokemon forever, but eventually there's not going to be anything new coming to the game, which means you'll see the same old Pokemon forever and ever. And with the way Niantic's talking to us right now, they might quit the game any day now. Just give up on it. Of course, it's by far their most revenuing game. Like, I think they have like $3 billion in total from it. But they might just run out of stuff and be like, hey guys, we're not making anything new, so we just have to quit it. Now, it's hard to accept that, but everything does end, including Pokemon Go. But how long are we really looking at it to stay? I would say probably 5-6 years. Some people, their jobs are Pokemon Go. I don't have a job yet, but I'm not earning money off YouTube or posting. I enjoy this, and this is technically my job. I post about Pokemon. I don't care. I just love posting about it. But that's the thing. If Pokemon Go becomes boring, and there's nothing I can talk about, every single Pokemon Go channel is just going to go down because there's nothing new they can post about. If there's no events happening, what are they supposed to post about? Because they've already done the most rare Pokemon or most useful Pokemon, there's not going to be... What are you going to do in 2050? Of course, 2050 is going to be a long different from here. Some people might even not make it till 2050 if they have a Pokemon Go channel right now. But we want to look on the bright side and, like, how long can you effectively make your channel go? If you're posting about Pokemon Go, here's some tips for videos you can do. So I'm only going to give one tip, and of course I am not doing this personally, but post about the events that are happening right now, because like other people who have made the top 10 rarest Pokemon in the game, of course it's going to be different in a while from now, but you can do that anytime. You could have done that in July of 2016 in the game's release, and you could do that effectively today. But the thing is that that will always be an option. But for instance, the 2022 Halloween event, no one's going to watch a video on that about like the rarest Pokemon you can find in that event if it's in the past. So make videos for the present, like event details or stuff like that. That's a good thing you can do because it may not last a while, but in the moment it's effective. Now, I don't really have much more to say about the game. It's a great game and I hope it lasts for a very long time. But if you enjoyed this video, consider liking or subscribing. I would take both of those, honestly. And then if you have any opinions or how long you think Pokemon Go will last, put them in the comments around somewhere down there, I think they are. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video.